We've all heard the stories and the memes, right? You know what I'm talking about. Kid has the parent's credit card, runs the bill up for Genshin Impact or some other game. You know, the meme's been around for a while, way before Genshin Impact was a thing. But you get the point. So check this article out from Alina. Singaporean dad shocked to see credit card debt of RM 61,838. Daughter used it on Genshin Impact. Now, let me convert this for you because that number's around $14,000 USD. They say a father in Singapore by the name of Mr. Lim was shocked to find out that he had a $14,000 USD outstanding debt on his credit card. The bank had called him and said that there were 89 transactions that were made under his name and amounted to more than that $14,000 figure. He says, "At first I thought I was scammed, but the credit card company said these were all legitimate transactions and there was nothing it could do. They started to investigate the case and found out that the 89 transactions originated from Mr. Lim's 18-year-old daughter's e-wallet account. According to the Straits Times, Mr. Lim had attached his credit card to that particular account for transportation means." So the dad gives the daughter the credit card access for transportation, funds, transportation means. She uses it to travel. If you get my meaning. Travel in Genshin Impact a little bit, rack up $14,000 of debt. Oh my gosh. However, she attached her e-wallet account to her Genshin Impact account and had a shopping spree from August to October. If you don't know, Genshin Impact is a very popular game now, as the art style is well done, and there are so many things for players to discover. Okay, pause for a moment. It's kind of odd that Mr. Lim didn't look at his credit card transactions and or pay anything off for like 3 months. Now, maybe he has a separate credit card that he wanted the daughter to use specifically for that transportation stuff, but you'd still probably want to pay that off as hastily as you can so you don't accrue interest or anything like that. And it seems like that's not what was going on because it took like 3 months or so for the bank to let him know. He didn't find it out himself. So even if he wasn't able to pay off the debt on the credit card from the transportation costs in a timely manner, he should still be checking that account and the statements to be sure exactly what his expenses are, as opposed to like just ignoring it. Probably could have improved a little bit on how he handles that stuff, but I'm not here to tell his people how to live their lives or give them financial advice. Just some food for thought. Ultimately, Mr. Lim has managed to reduce the debt by 10,000 SGD. So that's about half the figure. So you go from 14,000 USD down to a little over 7,000 USD. Through the bank's goodwill, and he urges parents to be more vigilant on this matter. Okay, so I guess to be fair to what I was saying a moment ago, seems like Mr. Lim actually agrees as well with what I said, basically. Okay, all that said, though, that still freaking sucks. This dude owes like $7,000 to the bank now because his daughter spent it on Genshin Impact. Although you gotta say, technically she got out with like 14,000 USD worth of stuff in Genshin Impact. So she finessed the system and finessed her dad. Hey, I'm not saying that's a good thing. I'm just saying... Dude, that's awful though. Like, oh my gosh, I couldn't imagine. I'll end with this though, because I've heard of some situations in other video games, gacha games specifically, where people did not like something that was changed in game. For example, let's say someone spent like $1,000 on a character, and then a couple months later, the devs changed that character and like nerf them, and then people charge back. They do a chargeback on the transactions they made to try to get that character, and ultimately, from what I've seen, that has worked for a lot of people. But then their account gets banned from that game. But I do wonder, though, if that was a potential option in this situation where the dad could have forced the credit card company to do a chargeback to MiHoYo and get all those funds back, reverse the transactions, and then her account gets deleted. As it stands now, it sounds like she'll keep the account. That's why I made that joke about her like finessing the system earlier. Keep the 14K worth of stuff for 7K, and the dad owes 7K to the bank. What a thing, huh? Anyways, thank you for tuning in. I'll see you in the comments and also in the next segment on the way.